So yeah, hi once again. Good day to everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is about engine rebuilding. So we have a ZD30 engine over here for a Nissan Patrol Y61 non-common rail engine. So we have the old cylinder block over here, which someone just reconditioned it, but unfortunately it's just only a month of using the owner for his car, and this is what happened from the day that the engine was reconditioned. The cylinder block was damaged by the piston ring number 1 and number 2. So that's the number 2, and this is the number 1 cylinder. So basically what happened is, when we remove the engine, the crank end play for the crankshaft was too big, and this is what happened. So the piston grip in both front and rear of the cylinder wall. So that's back of the cylinder wall, and this is the front of the cylinder wall of the engine, of the cylinder bore. So that's what happened, because the crankshaft is moving forward and backward. It's because the crank end play is too big, and unfortunately the previous mechanic that did this engine was, I don't know if he give time to check the crank and play for this engine. If he did, maybe he fixed this problem before this happened. So I'll also show you the piston, what happened to the piston and the ring. So this is the piston. This is the number 3 piston, which is still good, but the number 2 and number 1 cylinder was this happened. That, and the clearance, the piston ring gap wasn't seated properly when they assemble it. So that's the ring gap, and the other one is the piston ring number 2 is close to the piston skirt. The other one is this, that's the number 1, and the piston ring gap is aligned already on the piston skirt, which is not good. And the 2 piston ring gap, it's almost aligned each other. So, and the piston pin bushing of this one is also damaged due to we found out that the oil gallery of the cylinder block wasn't cleaned properly. So some metal debris that or powder that coming from reboring it goes to the fuel it goes to the oil gallery and damage the it blocks the oil jet over there that sprays to the piston, and that's what happened. Even the crankshaft, the balance of shaft bushing is worn out due to lack of lubrication. So this is the piston pin, which is this one is also new, and only 1 month the engine is running only for a month. See that? This is lack of lubrication because it goes black. Means to say that this one was get into overtemp, and when we remove this one, it's too hard to remove because it's almost stuck to the piston pin. And some of the oil gallery hole was blocked also with the silicone because the silicone is too much. See that? It's not supposed to put a silicone on this side here because the gasket is a metal and there is a groove on it, so you don't need to put the silicone on that gasket. So this is the new the same crankshaft but different cylinder block. So when we check the crank and play for this crankshaft, the same crankshaft with new cylinder block, when we put standard thrust bearing, we still have 16, the same as the old one. We still have 16 mil crank and play. So I will show you. So we put this standard. This is grade A thrust bearing. So we don't need to put the main bearing crankcase because we can still check the and play for this one. So that's the clearance, that's the end play for the grade A standard thrust bearing. It's around 17 mil, which is really big. That's what happened to that piston, because the crankshaft is playing back and forth. So our thrust bearing clearance is the thrust bearing clearance for standard so that is 0.055 to 0.14 or 140 millimeter. So I've got the 25 thou thrust bearing over here, oversized. So I already grind it with with a sanding paper over here. Let me show you how to do this. You have to put it on like a flat surface, plastic or a glass. Stick this one on so that you can grind it together. Don't grind this one individually, or else it will not be the same thickness. So you have to stick that one on like that, and grind it like number 8 stroke in a flat surface material. So I already grind this one, and let's check the shaft, the crank and play for this engine. So the previous one, which is the standard grade A, because this one is aftermarket Tahoe brand, and we can only get the grade A, B, and C to the dealership. So I don't want to wait any longer to wait for the thrust bearing when we order it to the dealership. So I ordered the aftermarket, which is the Tahoe brand, the same as the Conrad bearing, main bearing. So we have to put it on now. So there we go. We already fit the oversized thrust bearing, and we have to check the end play from the gauge. So just put it on 0 just a bit. Okay. So that's exactly 0.055. 0.05. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So the previous end plate that we got from the new thrust washer, but it is in a grade A standard, that was 0.016. So that's too big for this. I'm happy with that. So let's now pull the crankshaft main bearing cap housing, which is this one here. Then we're good to go.